Have you ever wondered if your brain could actually grow younger as you age? Most people believe that as we get older, our memory fades, our thinking slows down, and forgetfulness becomes just another part of getting older. But what if I told you that your brain is far more adaptable than you've been led to believe? What if, in just 2 months, you could begin to see and feel the difference not just in how you think, but in how you live? Today, we're diving into one of the most hopeful and scientifically backed messages for anyone over 50 who wants to preserve their mind and improve their life. Your brain can get younger. This isn't a theory or motivational slogan. It's a message grounded in science, specifically brain imaging. Over the last 30 years, a leading psychiatrist named Dr. Daniel Amen has quietly built the world's largest database of brain scans. Along with his team at Amen Clinics, he has reviewed over 225,000 SPECT scans from people in more than 150 countries. These aren't vague impressions or gut feelings, they're real images that show blood flow and activity patterns in the brain. These scans have revealed something extraordinary. The brain isn't fixed. It can change. And with the right daily habits, it can improve, sometimes dramatically, regardless of your age. Let's talk for a moment about what these scans actually show. SPECT, which stands for Single Photon Emission Computed Tomography, is a type of brain imaging that looks not at structure like an MRI, but at function, how the brain is actually working in real time. It reveals 3 key things: areas that are functioning well, areas with too little activity, and areas with too much. Dr. Amen describes it as a window into the soul of your thinking. When these areas are balanced, we think clearly, manage emotions well, and stay mentally sharp. But when they're imbalanced, even slightly, things begin to go off track, focus declines, memory slips, mood suffers. To give you a clearer picture, imagine 2 brain scans side by side. On the left, a healthy scan, smooth, rounded, symmetrical. This is the brain of someone who is aging well. On the right, a scan from someone struggling with alcohol use. The surface appears uneven, pitted, almost like a sponge full of holes. These images aren't meant to shame anyone. Instead, they serve as a powerful visual reminder. The decisions we make every day, from what we eat, to how we sleep, to how we manage stress, have a direct impact on how our brain looks and functions. And here's where it gets really encouraging. These changes aren't just theoretical. In Dr. Amen's own experience, he scanned his brain at age 37. Then again at age 52. After years of applying the habits he teaches, the result? His second scan looked younger and healthier. The shape improved. The activity patterns evened out. In his words, "My brain got better with age." And if his brain could do that, why not yours? This is what makes today's topic so important. We now have solid evidence that your brain health isn't a fixed outcome. It's not predetermined by your age or your family history. You have more control than you think. The key lies in making small but powerful shifts in your lifestyle, and that includes the foods you eat. What you put on your plate each day feeds the most expensive real estate in your body, your brain. Although it weighs only 2% of your body mass, it uses up to 30% of the calories you consume. So every meal is either helping your brain or silently draining it. In the minutes ahead, we'll uncover the 5 foods that research shows can help your brain stay sharp, balanced, and even grow younger. These aren't exotic superfoods that require a trip to a specialty market. They're simple, practical choices backed by neuroscience and decades of observation. But before we reveal them, it's important to understand what puts your brain at risk in the first place, because knowing what to avoid is just as crucial as knowing what to add. Before we explore the 5 foods that can help your brain stay young, we need to talk honestly about something just as important: what's harming your brain every day, often without you even realizing it. Because just as certain foods and habits can nourish and protect your brain, others can silently speed up the aging process, shrinking brain volume, disrupting memory, and increasing the risk of long-term decline. And the truth is, many of these habits are surprisingly common, especially in modern American life. Let's start with alcohol. For many, a glass of wine or a cocktail feels harmless, even relaxing. But what we now know from thousands of brain scans is that alcohol is directly toxic to brain function. It decreases blood flow, especially to the frontal lobes, the part of your brain responsible for focus, planning, judgment, and emotional control. In one scan done at Dr. Amen's clinic, a young man's brain looked visibly different before and after drinking. The frontal areas that were once bright and active simply went dark. This is not about shame or fear. It's about knowing the cost and making informed choices. Another major factor is obesity. You may not often hear this, but being significantly overweight doesn't just affect your heart or your joints, it actually changes your brain. A groundbreaking study published in the journal Nature Obesity found that as a person's weight increases, their brain volume decreases. That's right, the size and function of the brain literally shrink. This isn't just a cosmetic issue. A smaller brain is associated with lower memory performance and a higher risk of cognitive decline. When Dr. Amen read this study, he took it personally. He lost 25 pounds and changed his entire lifestyle. Because the science was clear. Weight impacts the brain. Next is sleep, or rather, the lack of it. In 1900, the average adult slept about 9 hours per night. Today, that number has dropped to around 6.5. This matters because sleep is when your brain repairs itself. It clears out waste, consolidates memory, and resets your mental balance. According to sleep researchers at the NIH, chronic sleep deprivation reduces overall blood flow to the brain and increases inflammation, both key contributors to cognitive decline. And the kicker? Poor sleep also leads to increased cravings and weight gain, creating a cycle that damages the brain from multiple angles. Then there's the standard American diet, often referred to as the SAD diet. High in processed foods, sugars, and refined carbs. This way of eating has been linked not only to heart disease and diabetes, but also to depression and Alzheimer's. When Dr. Amen speaks to his patients, he reminds them food is medicine or it's poison, and too often, our everyday meals lean toward the latter. Fast food, sugary snacks, and chemical-laden ingredients may save time, but they cost brain health in the long run. And finally, we must mention smoking and high blood pressure, two often overlooked enemies of the brain. Smoking narrows blood vessels, reducing oxygen to the brain. High blood pressure does the same. Both contribute to a decline in cognitive ability over time. That's why knowing your numbers and taking steps to manage them isn't just about your heart. It's about your mind. The good news is that every one of these damaging patterns can be interrupted. Every small change you make, whether it's skipping that second drink, going for a walk, or turning in early, can begin to protect your brain from further harm. And once you remove what's hurting your brain, you make more room for the habits and foods that can help it thrive. Now that we've talked about what harms the brain, let's shift towards something far more encouraging: the foods that have the power to nourish it, protect it, and even help it grow younger. These aren't miracle pills or expensive supplements. They're everyday foods, simple, accessible, and backed by decades of research from some of the most respected medical institutions in the United States. So let's begin with the first one, a tiny seed with an impressive impact. The first food on our list is pumpkin seeds. You might walk past them at the grocery store without thinking twice. But science tells us they deserve a place in your daily routine, especially if you care about your memory, mood, or sleep. Pumpkin seeds are packed with magnesium, zinc, antioxidants, and tryptophan. Each of these nutrients plays a unique and powerful role in how your brain functions. Magnesium helps regulate signals between nerve cells, promotes relaxation, and supports better sleep, something we know is critical for brain health. Zinc, on the other hand, is essential for memory and concentration. And tryptophan? That's an amino acid your body uses to make serotonin, the brain's feel-good chemical. A handful of pumpkin seeds a day, just 1/4 cup, can go a long way. According to Harvard Health Publishing, pumpkin seeds are among the best natural sources of magnesium, and a recent review published in the Journal of Food Bioactives highlighted their neuroprotective effects, especially in older adults. Researchers found that these seeds contain compounds that help reduce inflammation in the brain and may even support the regeneration of neurons. Think about that. Regenerating brain cells starting with a snack you can add to your morning oatmeal or sprinkle on a salad. Moving on to the second brain-loving food, omega-3 fatty acids. You've likely heard of them before, but few people truly understand how vital they are to brain structure and performance. Your brain is nearly 60% fat, and much of that is made up of DHA, one of the key omega-3 seconds found in fatty fish like salmon, sardines, and mackerel. When your diet lacks DHA and EPA, another crucial omega-3, your brain function can suffer. And here's where the science gets compelling. In a study published by the American Academy of Neurology, researchers examined over 1,500 adults in their mid to late 60s. What they found was eye-opening. Individuals with low levels of DHA had significantly smaller brain volumes, equivalent to nearly 2 years of additional brain aging compared to those with higher DHA levels. In simpler terms, just by having lower omega-3 levels, their brains looked older. But the reverse is also true. Increasing omega-3 intake can help preserve brain size and support memory and mental sharpness. For those following a plant-based or vegan lifestyle, it's important to note that omega-3 seconds from flaxseed or chia may not provide the same brain benefits, since they lack EPA. That's why doctors like Daniel Amen recommend a vegan algae-based omega-3 supplement that contains both EPA and DHA. If you're not eating fish regularly, this is a smart and simple step to support long-term cognitive health. Now let's talk about the third brain-boosting food, green tea. It's more than just a comforting beverage, it's a proven tool for better brain performance. Green tea contains a small amount of caffeine, about half the amount found in coffee, but it also includes an amino acid called L-theanine. This unique combination helps improve alertness while promoting a state of calm focus. In fact, A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that individuals who consumed green tea regularly scored higher on memory and attention tests compared to non-drinkers, but there's more to green tea than just mental clarity. The polyphenols in green tea, particularly a compound called EGCG, have been shown to reduce inflammation and protect brain cells from oxidative stress. And since oxidative damage is one of the main contributors to cognitive decline as we age, drinking green tea daily becomes not just a habit, but a protective strategy. It's no wonder that many cultures known for longevity, like those in Japan, include green tea as a daily ritual. Dr. Amen often reminds his patients that when it comes to beverages, quality matters just as much as quantity. Unlike sugary sodas or energy drinks, green tea offers a clean, plant-based source of energy that doesn't spike blood sugar or cause a crash. It's gentle, effective, and easy to incorporate. Just 1 or 2 cups a day can make a difference. Whether sipped in the morning sun or during an afternoon pause, it's one of the simplest ways to support brain function with every sip. As you can see, these first 3 foods, pumpkin seeds, omega harums, and green tea, each offer something uniquely powerful for the aging brain. And the best part? You don't need to change everything overnight. Just introducing one of these foods into your routine can begin the process of nourishing your brain from the inside out. In the next section, we'll explore 2 more foods that complete this brain-boosting list, along with an easy, delicious recipe you can try at home. Let's continue our journey with the remaining 2 foods that can make a real difference in your brain's health and resilience. These last 2 may surprise you, not because they're exotic or rare, but because they're so simple. Sometimes, the best medicine is found in the most familiar places. And when it comes to supporting your memory, focus, and overall brain function, these next 2 foods offer powerful benefits backed by science. The 4th brain-friendly food is avocado, often misunderstood for its fat content. Avocado is actually one of the healthiest sources of fat you can include in your diet, especially for your brain. Avocados are rich in monounsaturated fats, the same heart-healthy fats found in olive oil. These fats help improve blood flow, which means more oxygen and nutrients reach your brain. And better blood flow translates into sharper thinking, quicker recall, and better problem solving. But there's more. Avocados are also high in lutein, a powerful antioxidant that accumulates in the brain and eyes. A study from the University of Illinois found that older adults with higher levels of lutein in their brains performed better on attention tasks and had stronger connectivity between brain regions. What makes this especially exciting is that lutein isn't just protective, it may help maintain cognitive function as we age. Just 1 avocado a few times a week can be a game changer. In addition to healthy fats, avocados provide fiber and essential vitamins like B6 and folate, both of which are crucial for neurotransmitter function. These nutrients support the production of serotonin and dopamine, helping regulate mood and energy. So, next time you're reaching for a snack or building a sandwich, consider adding a few slices of avocado. Your brain will thank you. Now, let's talk about the 5th and final food on our list, fibrous vegetables paired with lean proteins. While not as flashy as some so-called superfoods, this combination is one of the most foundational for brain health. Why? Because fiber helps regulate blood sugar, which is key for maintaining steady energy and avoiding mental fog. And lean proteins provide the amino acids your brain uses to build neurotransmitters, the chemical messengers that control everything from memory to mood. Think about how you feel after a heavy meal filled with sugar or refined carbs, sluggish, unfocused, maybe even irritable. That's because high glycemic foods cause your blood sugar to spike and crash, which can disrupt the brain's ability to function smoothly. In contrast, fibrous vegetables like broccoli, kale, spinach, and Brussels sprouts digest slowly, providing a steady source of fuel for your brain. When paired with lean protein like grilled chicken, fish, or tofu, you're giving your brain exactly what it needs to perform at its best. Dr. Amen often emphasizes that what we eat should be both healing and enjoyable. And one delicious way to combine many of the foods we've discussed is through a simple recipe that his wife, Dana Amen, loves to make. It's a chicken avocado wrap filled with sprouts and fresh greens, all wrapped in a thin, whole grain tortilla. Here's how it goes. Start with a small grilled chicken breast, sliced thin. Add half an avocado, a handful of alfalfa or broccoli sprouts, and a few crisp spinach leaves. Drizzle with a little lemon juice or olive oil for flavor. Wrap it all up, and you've got a portable, nutrient-packed meal that supports brain health in every bite. This kind of meal doesn't just taste good, it fuels your brain with healthy fats, quality protein, fiber, and antioxidants. It's the kind of food that satisfies your hunger, supports your mood, and gives your mind the clarity it needs to face the day. And the best part? It's easy enough for anyone to make at home. No complicated steps required. When you start combining these foods regularly, pumpkin seeds, omega harums, green tea, avocado, and fiber-rich vegetables with lean protein, you're not just eating to survive. You're eating to thrive. And that's the shift that can change everything. In the next section, we'll move beyond food and talk about the daily habits that amplify these benefits. Habits that science has shown can help keep your brain strong, stable, and sharp well into your later years. Now that we've covered the most powerful foods for brain health, let's take a closer look at what you can do each day beyond your plate to keep your brain younger, sharper, and more resilient. The truth is, food is just one piece of the puzzle. Daily habits, the small choices you make every morning, every afternoon, and every evening can make a profound difference over time. And the good news? You don't need extreme routines or hours of free time. You just need a few intentional actions, practiced consistently. Let's begin with one of the most overlooked, yet vital habits: sleep. While many people focus on diet and exercise, sleep often gets pushed to the side. But your brain doesn't just rest when you sleep, it repairs. During deep sleep, your brain clears out waste, balances hormones, and consolidates memories from the day. According to the National Institutes of Health, adults who sleep fewer than 7 hours a night experience reduced blood flow to the brain, slower cognitive performance, and greater risk of memory problems. So, one of the most powerful brain-protecting actions you can take is simply getting to bed on time and making sleep a true priority. Another essential habit is meditation, but not the kind where you zone out. Research shows that mindfulness meditation actually increases activity in the brain's prefrontal cortex, the region responsible for planning, judgment, and emotional regulation. Just 10 to 15 minutes a day can improve focus and reduce stress, both of which are known to support healthy brain aging. And it doesn't have to be complicated. You can sit quietly with your eyes closed. Focus on your breathing, or follow a simple guided meditation. The key is consistency, not perfection. Positive social connection is another habit that many people underestimate. Loneliness and isolation, especially in older adults, have been linked to faster cognitive decline and even increased risk of dementia. But the opposite is also true. A 5-year-long study by Harvard found that people with strong social bonds stayed mentally sharper, longer, and reported higher life satisfaction. So whether it's a phone call, a lunch with a friend, or even a shared walk with a neighbor, social engagement is more than just a nicety, it's a brain-boosting necessity. And finally, keep learning. Your brain thrives on novelty. Every time you learn something new, whether it's a word in a different language, a new recipe, or a small skill like folding an origami crane, you're building new neural pathways. Studies show that lifelong learners experience slower rates of cognitive aging, and they tend to stay independent longer. So pick up that book, try that puzzle, or join that local class you've been thinking about. It's never too late to spark curiosity, and your brain will respond. By practicing these habits, prioritizing sleep, meditating regularly, staying socially connected, and embracing lifelong learning, you're building a lifestyle that not only supports the brain, but celebrates it. These aren't just healthy routines. They're daily investments in the quality of your future. In our final section, we'll bring everything together so you can take these ideas and turn them into action starting today. So let's take a moment to look back at what we've uncovered. You've learned about 5 powerful foods: pumpkin seeds, omega harums, green tea, avocado, and the combination of fibrous vegetables with lean proteins. You've seen how each one plays a role in supporting memory, focus, mood, and overall brain resilience. But beyond the foods themselves, you've also discovered that your daily habits, how you sleep, how you connect with others, how you handle stress, and how you keep learning can either accelerate brain aging or help reverse it. What this all adds up to is something deeply empowering. Your brain is not fixed. It's not doomed to decline simply because the calendar turns. The choices you make today truly shape the brain you'll live with tomorrow. And the beauty of it all is that you don't need to overhaul your life to begin. You just need to start. One small change at a time. Maybe tomorrow you add a handful of pumpkin seeds to your breakfast. Maybe you take a quiet walk and enjoy a cup of green tea instead of another soda. Maybe tonight you choose to go to bed 30 minutes earlier. These aren't dramatic acts, but over time, they can lead to dramatic results. And if there's one message I hope stays with you, it's this: no matter your age, your brain can get better. You can think more clearly, feel more balanced, and stay independent longer than you thought possible. The science supports it. The stories prove it. Now, it's your turn. So take what you've learned here and make it your own. Share this knowledge with someone you care about, a friend, a sibling, a parent, or a spouse. Start the conversation. Invite someone to try that chicken avocado wrap with you. Because brain health isn't just personal, it's something we build together. As families and communities, your next decade can be sharper, stronger, and more joyful than the last. And it starts with one decision: to care for your brain. Starting today.